So today we're going to talk about the case of the smiling ice coffee killer that happened in Indonesia in 2016. So this is the story of Jessica Wongso and Mena. So is a case that really brought out a lot of media sensation in Indonesia, being that the trial was televised and for 5 months. The trial lasted for 5 months, and the whole of that 5 months it created a very big media sensation in Jakarta, Indonesia, and in fact the whole of Indonesia. People were really intrigued with this case because the case spoke of jealousy, it spoke of different things, and at the beginning of the case people were really confused as to who actually murdered Mena. But at the end of the day they were able to pinpoint the person that actually did it, and the case lasted for 5 months, and it was constantly televised, and everybody knew about the case. And in fact, let's just dive into the case. So on January of 2016, Jessica Wongso walked into an Indonesian cafe known as Olivia Cafe. This particular cafe is like in the highbrow neighborhood of Jakarta in Indonesia. So people of people that of poorer social status does not really go into that cafe. That cafe, their lowest price of coffee starts from $4, and the average Indonesia household lives on $4, $5 a day. So meaning that people that go into that cafe are like the rich, the was 1% of Indonesia population. So this lady, she went into this cafe, Olivia Cafe, as at 3:33 of that particular day in January of 2016. I think January 6th. So she went into that place and she told them that she was going to order Vietnamese coffee and other drinks, but she will not order it now, that she will need to go to the mall, and when she comes back that she will order the coffee, that they should not make it. She already ordered it, but they shouldn't make it until she comes back into the cafe. So she went into the mall and bought some things, and then around 4:14 she came back into the cafe. Then they made the coffee and the other drinks, and they brought to her table. So while she was walking into the cafe, she was actively looking up and checking security cameras and looking for a secluded spot in that cafe, because the cafe had like a garden theme. You know those cafes that have garden, like trees and leaves inside the cafe to beautify it. So it had a garden theme. So she looked for a secluded spot, and she went on and sat down. And when they brought the coffee, she used the shopping bags that she had already, the shopping bags that she used, as in shopping bags that she had already bought things from the mall with. So she used the shopping bags and stood it on the table and tried to like shed the drinks from the security cameras. But there was a camera that was like seeing to that side, but because she now used those long shopping bags and covered those drinks, the security camera cannot really zoom into those drinks. So she was just doing stuff inside there and like doing things. And the people that she had appointment with, she had appointment with those people for 5 o'clock. So normally she's supposed to come to that cafe maybe like 4:30, 4:40, but she came to that cafe by 3:33. Who does that? Like, she came like a whole 2 hours or 1 hour 30 minutes before the actual appointment. So those girls, Honey and Mena Salihi, So they came into the cafe around 5:16. And when they sat down, she said because she had already called them and asked them that should she like order their drinks. So when they told her that she ordered drinks, that was when she placed the order and ordered those drinks. And those girls, they were not suspicious because they've been friends since their college, because they went to college in Australia. That was where all of them met. So when they were in Australia, they were all friends. They were like a group of friends, and they were like they were very close. And after their studies, Mena and Mena's boyfriend Arif Somako, they all went back to Indonesia to continue their life because their family, they are all from rich families in Indonesia. So when they went back to Indonesia, but Jessica Wongso said she would stay in Australia. So she continued staying in Australia while her friends, they all went back to Indonesia. So this was like a reunion for them. Plus 2 months before this particular this particular launch date, they were Mena had already done her wedding, and during her wedding she did not invite Jessica. So Jessica was still in Australia, she was not invited. Mena did her wedding. It was an elaborate wedding, and Jessica was not invited. So when Jessica came into Indonesia, she made this plan, this launch date for them to just come and catch up and stuff. So when those girls arrived, Honey and Mena, they came on and sat on the chairs with her, and she was prodding them to like take their drinks. Mena first took a sip of her coffee and complained that the coffee tastes weird, and like it doesn't like taste the way it's supposed to taste. That Honey should just taste it, but Honey just took a sip. I think Mena maybe took a gulp. You know, some people taste things differently. Some people sip maybe a gulp to some people. So she took, you know, she didn't suspect anything when they gave her the coffee. She just like took a sip or a gulp or several sips. So then Honey tested it and said it tastes weird and it looks turmeric, as in it looks as if it's yellow. It's not the same color with the normal Vietnamese coffee that they are used to. So they just pushed the coffee aside and were still discussing before Mena started behaving weirdly. She started like choking and making sounds and complaining that she's choking. Before she know it, she started having a seizure, and people at the restaurant, everybody rushed trying to like help her in one way or the other, and then she was rushed to the hospital. And when she got to the hospital, she was pronounced dead. And when people were rushing to help her, Jessica was just standing aside and scratching her arms, you know, scratching her hands and looking on. She was not really like rushing the way Honey was crying, shouting and doing all of that. She did not do all of that. She was just standing separately and looking on. So, and as she was looking on and looking at the coffee, she now the manager of the cafe, everybody rushed to help. She was looking at the manager, and then she said, what did he put inside that coffee? The manager was shocked, because the manager thought maybe whatever is happening to this girl, or maybe it's something that she had before she came into the cafe, because she came into the cafe like 5 minutes or 10 minutes ago. So she didn't understand what the friend was saying, but she just tapped one of the staff there and told her to just share that coffee and try and take it in, and don't touch. Nobody should touch that coffee. Nobody should drink. Nobody should touch it. So they just took the coffee. The staff was sharp enough. She just took the coffee and went into their kitchen and just left it. And So they rushed Mena to the hospital, and when Mena got to the hospital, she was pronounced dead. And when the husband was told, he was confused because they were planning their honeymoon. They just had their wedding 2 months ago, and they were actively planning their honeymoon, and he was just expecting that she would go for the lunch date and come back and maybe make dinner and they will eat. It was like confusing to him. So she just left here 10 minutes or 8 minutes ago. How is she dead? So she was very confused. Everybody was confused. Nobody knew what was happening. So, and the police started their investigation. That particular manager, when she went into that place, she tasted that coffee, as in she tapped on the coffee and tasted it. It tasted weird, and it was as if she had a burning sensation in her mouth. So she just said they should just cover the coffee, protect it, and keep it in their freezer. So the police started their investigation. They were investigating what happened to this girl. At first, they were even suspecting the dad, because the girl has a life insurance of like $5 to $7 million. So they were suspecting the dad. They did not even suspect the husband because she just had her wedding. So how will she get a life insurance? She's still very young. How will she get a life insurance? So they suspected the dad. After some time, they shifted their suspect. They started suspecting Honey, because the girl and Honey, they were the ones that worked, as in that were together almost the whole day of that particular day that she died. So they suspected Honey maybe that she ate something before she came into the cafe. So they suspected Honey for a while, but seeing the way Honey behaved on that day that thing happened, the suspicion couldn't hold. So then when the police asked the manager, and the manager reported the coffee, and the police tested the coffee, and the results came back that it's positive for cyanide. So the police shifted their suspicion to Jessica. And hearing that she came for the dinner date, for the lunch date by 3:33, and the way she was, they watched the CCTV camera, the way she was behaving weirdly, the way she was looking at the security cameras, the way she shredded the drinks from the security camera, and all the weird things that she did that day. They started suspecting her, and the suspicion was really holding because of all the things that she did that day, the way she was scratching her hand, being that cyanide, when it touches somebody it touches any part of the body, it irritates. It would keep scratching that place, and the way she was just scratching her hands and her body that day, as they were trying to like resuscitate Mena. So all these things came together to become a very big that Jessica became the main suspect of this case. So people were already as in suspecting her, and by January 30th she was arrested. And when she was questioned, she said she was really confused on what happened that day, that she didn't even understand what was happening, that she didn't know what was happening, that she couldn't believe that something like that could happen, that she can't believe these things. So she was asked to present the clothes that she was wearing on that day, and she couldn't present it. She said that when she got home that day, that she asked one of her staff to burn it, that she doesn't have the clothes anymore. They were asking her why. They said because the clothes is worn out, is threadbare, that she no longer needs the clothes. But but the police were like, if your clothes is threadbare and worn out, your first instance will not be to like burn it. Why? What does it mean that your clothes, you already burnt it? So all those while that the police were like finger pointing on different people, she was busily trying to cover her tracks. So she had already burnt the clothes. She shredded the drinks from security camera. There was no point that it actually captured what was happening with the drinks. So every evidence that they had against her was like circumstantial. So the Indonesian police then contacted Australian government to bring her file, all her any of her files that they have in the police, that they should bring it so that they will know and try to know the kind of person Jessica is. But the Australian government had their own this thing. They told the Indonesian government, because death penalty is still very strong in Indonesia, while Australia does not condone the death penalty. Told them that the only way that they can release her files to them is if they promise them that she will not be sentenced to death no matter what. So the Indonesian government, they hurriedly agreed, and her files and everything was released to the Indonesian government. And when they studied her file, they found out that like 2 months before she even came to Australia, that she had a DUI, that she had a rap sheet. In fact, with the Australian government, she has done some little things that her boyfriend Patrick O'Connor, that she was dating. Patrick complained that when they broke up, that every time Jessica is calling him, telling him that she will kill herself, she will commit suicide if they don't come back together, that she always threatened him that she will harm herself in one way or the other. Then when Jessica's boss was also interviewed, Jessica's boss said that Jessica is very manipulative, that she has two personalities, and that she will sometimes she behaves like someone that can do something like that can kill. So they all gave different testimonies against Jessica, and they were also ready to come and say it in the court. So when her trial started on June 30th, then they were trying to like prove that Jessica did this, and it took 5 months of televised media sensational trial. And then at the end of the 5 months, she was convicted because of all the circumstantial evidence that proved that she was the one, and plus that there was an incident that happened between her and Jessica. Mena visited Australia some months before her wedding. She and Arif Somako, her husband. So they visited Australia, and when during they had a lunch date with Jessica. And Jessica, when she saw Arif, that Arif came with Jessica, when she saw that Arif came with Mena, she was really disappointed because she thought that it was going to be a girls' time out. So during their discussion, she told Jessica everything about that was happening with her at length. Jessica told Mena all her problems with her boyfriend, and the way their relationship was very toxic, the way the boyfriend behaves to her and everything. And the story was not really pleasant, and Mena just advised Jessica that if Patrick is like that to her, that she should just dissolve the relationship. She just come out of the relationship, and maybe she can meet someone better. And she advised her like a sister, told her that she can leave the relationship and maybe start over and meet someone else, and her life will be better off than the way it was. So when immediately she said that, Jessica's face changed, and she didn't say anything anymore until the discussion turned into a weird something. And at the end of the day, Mena and Arif left, and Jessica, since then, Mena, they don't communicate with each other, and I think that was why Mena did not invite Jessica to her wedding. So when they found out about that discussion, they said it was because of jealousy, because almost everything, Jessica's life was going another way in Australia. She was sacked from her job a month before she left. She came back to Indonesia. She lost her boyfriend. Different things were just happening. She had a DUI, different things. And back in Indonesia, Mena's life was just coming together. Mena was managing one of her dad's company. Mena got married to the love of her life, and everything about Mena was just going in the right direction, while Jessica's life was just going to the left. So the prosecutors believed that she actually murdered Mena because she was jealous of her life. So, and that was that. And she was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment in that 2016. And she had been in the prison until last year, August. She was released from prison after serving 8 years. She was released from prison in 2024. And then now she's like running around and planning for her documentary is about coming out on Netflix. I don't know whether she's trying to earn money from this crime. I don't know. People were even, there was a rumor that maybe she was released from prison because of this documentary. I don't know what happened. I don't know what is happening. And now in Indonesia, she has become infamous. Everybody knows her. People are sharing her on. Some people are sharing her on. Some people believe that she did not murder Mena. Some people believe that she did. So she's just famous in Indonesia. She's attending different interviews, and each interview she attends, she's laughing, she's smiling, she's behaving. She's not even behaving as someone that did something to that murdered someone. Even during her trial, she was just smiling all through. In fact, when they took her back to the cafe to reenact the thing that happened, how the whole thing happened, she was just smiling as if she's auditioning for Miss Indonesia. I don't know how she's been able to, because she claimed that this is her best friend, that she can never do something like that to her. And I don't know how she's able to like live with herself and smile all through while claiming that she's innocent of murdering her friend. She does not feel any kind of pity for the family of Mena. She does not feel pity for Mena. Even before the trial, before she was caught, she was arrested, she sent articles on poisoned coffee to Mena's twin sister, because Mena is a twin. I think she's an identical twin. She sent it to her sister. So she has been doing different things, and since she's been released, she has been going from one interview to another. I don't know what is happening. I don't know whether they plan to make her a celebrity in Indonesia. I don't know what is happening, but she has been using her fame very well, and now she's preparing to release a Netflix documentary on this case. So that's how the case came on and ended, and that's how it is. The family of Mena, they are still mourning her. They are still mourning her every day, because the death of a child, it can never go out. The death of a sister, the death of a brother, it can never go. You keep on remembering them and mourning, especially someone that had grown to that extent before her death. Then another thing I will have to say is, if you have a friend, in fact, don't trust anybody. someone making a drink and keeping for you, and you coming on and drinking that drink, and maybe her mind was telling her, don't drink this drink, or you've not been like friendly with this person, you do not even invite her to your wedding, don't drink this. But because maybe she's shy, she's the fear of saying no, she drank the drink, and now she's dead. So if someone keeps a drink for you, don't even allow people to keep drinks for you. If you want to go to the toilet and your drink is open with someone, when you come back, don't order for another drink. Don't take that drink. Don't let me even speak it in Nigerian English. Don't use because of shame. Don't use because of shyness and kill yourself because you are trying to please people. Don't do it. Don't take a drink and just drink. In fact, don't tell anybody to order drinks for you. You don't know what is in the heart of man. Please, we all should be safe. There is so much wickedness in this world. All these cases, it shows so much wickedness, so much greediness in the heart of man. People are not doing these cases because they like to do these cases, but they are doing it because so that you can create awareness that this kind of things happen. They happen every day, and you cannot even, if you want to talk about poisoning cases, there are so many, you cannot even finish it in a year. So we all should just be careful. People are so wicked. You can never know what is in the heart of man, especially those smiling ones. Please just stay safe. And please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please, I'm begging, try and subscribe to this channel. I've not been well for the past 6 weeks. That was why it took so much time for me to release this particular video. But now I've gotten well, and I'll keep releasing videos. Please, if not subscribed, please try and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.